honeys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're gonna be playing with the Sultry palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, I did create this eyeshadow look just using the palette. Now, the first thing, you guys, that I saw from this palette is the packaging. Honestly, that's what caught my attention the most, and I was like, oh my god, I have to have it because it's just so pretty. It reminds me of holiday, you know, like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So the packaging, I threw away the box that was in the palette, which was also glittery, and when you open it up, I was like, oh my god, it's so glittery and so pretty. This palette does cost $45, you guys, which I feel like it's still not a bad price point just because I love the packaging and I love the colors on this palette. And then when you open up the palette, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matte shades, and the rest are just shimmery eyeshadows, which are super pigmented and so creamy, you guys. I absolutely love the formula of these eyeshadows. They blend out so well onto the eyes, as well as the matte shades. But the packaging gets me every single time. It's just so stunning, you guys, and there's so much more that I want to talk to you guys about the palette. But first, if you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel and be a part of the Honey family. And like this video if you so far like this eyeshadow look. And of course, hit the notification bell so that way you are notified every single time that I upload a new video. So let's go ahead and actually start off with the tutorial first, and then at the end of the video, I'll let you guys know my final thoughts on the palettes. So if you guys want to see how I created this eyeshadow look using the Sultry palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, then just please keep on watching. Alright, so I went ahead and did one eye off camera because I still didn't really know what I wanted to do. This was before I recorded my intro. So now that I decided what I wanted to do, let's go ahead and finish off the other eye. So of course we're going to be going into the Anastasia Beverly Hills new palette called Sultry, and I'm going to be going in with my Morphe, my M433, and dipping into the color Dystopian, which is the dark brown eyeshadow from the palette, and we're going to place this in the crease area. And we're going to go ahead and just blend this color back and forth. I do use tapping motions first, and then I blend out the eyeshadow from corner to corner, and we're mainly going to focus this only in the crease of the eye and just blend away until you are satisfied with what you have. Alright, you guys, and now I'm going to go ahead and take my Morphe, the M514, which has actually been one of my favorites recently. It's a smaller brush than the Morphe M433, but I love to actually blend out the smaller sections when I want to be so detailed with eyeshadow, and I feel like this blends out really well. So I'm going into the color Birch, which is a nice matte eyeshadow. It has like a little bit of like a yellow taupey undertone, so I'm going to go ahead and just blend out the edges, and it's totally okay if it does get into the crease because we are going to go back into this taupean and just blend everything together. But right here, you just want to mainly focus on blending out the outer inner corners, and as well as just blending up the top edges of the darker eyeshadow. With that same brush, you guys, the Morphe M514, we're going to dip into the color Noir, which is a nice matte black eyeshadow. I love when Anastasia Beverly Hills puts in Noir, which is like their deepest black eyeshadow. I love it. It blends out so well, and normally I was so scared of using black eyeshadows, but I love the formula of Anastasia's black eyeshadows, especially that shade right there. If they could add that to every palette, that would be great. But I absolutely love it, and so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just warm up the crease a little bit, and we're going to start to darken up the inner and outer corners to kind of start creating that halo eye. And I'm still using that same small Morphe brush. I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Eden Primer again, and I'm going into my Morphe, the M170-8 brush, and I'm going to place it right in the center of my lid. And once you open up your lid, you guys, that is like the perfect guideline if you don't know where to start when you're doing a half cut crease or a halo eye like this. Once you open up your eye, that is a perfect guideline. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out to the outer and inner corner, but not all the way. Just going to mainly focus it just all in the center, but avoiding those two areas. Then I'm taking the Morphe S11 and I'm going to start to blend out the outer and inner corners. I loved doing this recently because once you go in to darken up the outer inner corners, you don't have like that harsh line that sometimes the concealer or the primer leaves. So I always like to just blend everything out to make it look more seamless once you do go in there and add all the details. Now to brighten up the center of the eye, which is the star of the show, I'm going to go into my MAC, the 239S, and then I'm going to go into the color Pearl, which is a nice metallic pearly white glittery eyeshadow with a little bit of soft pink undertone, which this color, you guys, is so stunning. I can't wait to actually pair up the color birch and blend out the edges of Pearl, which makes it stand out so much more, and it makes it look so beautiful. So we're gonna go ahead and just pat that. I did get it wet with a little bit of Fix Plus. And just like I mentioned, you guys, I'm taking the color Birch and just patting the eyeshadow towards the edges of Pearl just to make sure that everything is blended. I find out that just using patting motions helps so much better than actually blending it, just because if you do blend it, it tends to sweep away the eyeshadow. So I've been loving the patting method whenever I do my eyeshadows now. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and go into my Morphe, the M513, and I'm picking up the color Noir, which is the black matte eyeshadow, and I'm going to go ahead and use patting motions as well. And you guys, with this Morphe, the brush, the M513, I absolutely love this brush. It's like my #2 favorite, and I've been so obsessed with Morphe brushes lately. One, because of the price, and two, they just work so good when it comes to blending out my eyeshadows. Now I'm just using patting motions to apply the color into the inner and outer corner. I find out that that works best, and then I go back into my the smaller little brush, the Morphe M514, and I just blend Dystopian and Noir together, and then I go into my Sedona Lace EB21 and I just define a little bit in the crease with more of that black eyeshadow. Now I'm going to go into my NYX liquid liner, and of course in the shade White, and I'm going to go ahead and place it right in the crease of my eye to create the spotlight look. So then I'm going to go ahead and just blend in a little bit more, not all the way down the lid, just right there as you guys can see here. And then we're going to go ahead and apply our Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the shade ACDC. And then on top, we're going to go into the new Anastasia glitters in the shade Cave. Now to apply the glitter, you guys, I'm using a patting motion as well, and I'm using the same MAC brush, the 239S. And you guys, this glitter is so fine, like it doesn't hurt my eyes or irritate my eyes, and it's super comfortable. Of course, I'm only applying it to a little section of my eye, but I can already tell a difference, and it feels very comfortable, which is super important to me, and it doesn't irritate my skin, which I'm happy about. Now I'm going to go ahead and just curl my lashes, and then I'm going to go into some mascara, and I'm going into the Sigma SINUOSITY Lash, I think that's what it's called. It's in the color black, of course. I went ahead and did my face off camera and then applied some lashes. The lashes that I'm wearing, you guys, are two different styles. I stacked them together. I have no idea what brand they are because they are all mixed up. And now I'm going to go into my 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil from Urban Decay in the shade Perversion. And I absolutely love Urban Decay liners, you guys, because you guys can see here with using my EB21 brush, the liner blends out so well and it doesn't hurt my lower lash line. Since our eyes are the most sensitive skin in our whole body, I love how gentle this liner really is, especially when I go out to blend it. It gives me time to still blend without drying too fast, and it lasts a very long time. Going back to the palette, I'm taking the color Dystopian in Noir, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that underneath my lower lash line as well. To warm it up just a little bit, I'm going to go into Birch and just blend out the edges. I want to keep this eye very bronzy, so I'm going to go into my Buxom Hold the Line Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Come Over, which is a nice brown eyeliner with a little bit of glitter in the liner. And I'm going to go ahead and place this in my waterline, and then I'm going to smudge it towards the lower lash line a little bit. Then to set the liner, you guys, I'm going to go into Dystopian into the palette and use any MAC 266 just to set the liner in my waterline so that way it doesn't go anywhere. After the mascara, you guys, I'm going to start to highlight my inner corner, and I'm going into the color Fresh, which is a nice matte ivory pink color, and then Steampunk, which is a nice metallic topaz bronzy eyeshadow. And I feel like these two combined was so stunning. If you don't want such an intense highlight, you can go into the color Fresh, but if you wanted to be a little bit more intense, which I actually did go in a little bit darker in the inner corner, I went in with more Steampunk, which I thought fit perfectly with the color combo that we have going on, and of course highlighting my brow bone as well. And that is it, you guys, using the Sultry palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I absolutely love the way that this eyeshadow turned out. You can definitely do this for Thanksgiving, New Year's, Christmas, whatever your little heart desires. Now let's go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts on the palette. Now that you all watched the eye tutorial, now let's go ahead and talk about the palette and tell you guys what I like about it. It does run for $45 and you can find it at your nearest Sephora and Ulta, but definitely call them ahead of time to see if they have some more in stock. I love it. Okay, here's the thing. So I love it because for me as an artist, I can definitely create so many looks, especially for like brides or like quinceañeras, or just like that average client that just wants something very, very soft. But you can also use this if you are a neutral girl like my sister. She loves very soft brown looks, and she sometimes only wears like shimmer shadows alone. So I feel like these are really pretty, and I love it because they are so like soft and creamy and really easy to work with. You guys saw in the video, like I'm looking at my eyeshadow right now and I'm like, oh my god, like it looks so smooth and so soft, and I had no issues at all with like blending these colors out. I just wish they would have switched this color to something different, but I absolutely love this palette, you guys. I can see myself create so many looks. So I have these three palettes. So we have the Norvina palette, we have the Soft Glam palette, and then we have the Modern Renaissance palette. I think I'm missing one more. You know what? I think I gave it away to my sister. Yeah, I did. But it's the Pyramid palette. I'll post a picture here for you guys. I think that's what it was called. It was all black. Ooh, I think that'd be so cool if they were to make a palette like this big. That would be so awesome. Anastasia Beverly Hills, TV, if you guys are watching this, which I'm sure you're not. But if you are, do a huge palette like this. This would be freaking awesome with different colors. Man, if I were to ever have money, I would definitely create my own makeup line, but one day, guys, one day. Love whenever they come out with their eyeshadow palettes because I just want to buy it and test it out and try it for myself. And sometimes they're a hit and sometimes they are a miss, but I really wanted to just pick one palette that I am absolutely obsessed with, but it's really weird because for every palette there is like different makeup looks that I can create and that I've used before, and so every palette has something special. These are definitely my top favorites from Anastasia. For this palette, you guys, I definitely love it and I recommend it if you guys are wanting to try it out. Worst case scenario, if you guys don't like it, you can always take it back and return it and get your money back. But I honestly really like it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please give it a big thumbs up. So I love you guys so much, and I'll see you all in my next video. Besos! Bye!